Well, Al Link, man, I mean, I saw your pixel artwork that you have, and I just went back in time and thinking about all those video games I used to play with my little boys like 20 years ago or whatever, and they were just wonderful. You have them in the back of your on your wall and back of you there, and so this is really an established art form that is really starting to take off again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And why do you think it's that way?
I think it's part of the retro nostalgia. I think that's part of it. I think also people are starting to recognize video game art as real art. So I think that's
I
part of it as well. Most of the artists I got to collaborate on the project are video game artists.
I see. Well, you went all over the world to find these people. I mean, these wonderful artists from Brazil and Eastern Europe and all over the world have just made wonderful contributions to this work. But more importantly, you have this available on a crowdfunding site now, Kickstarter, where you're raising, trying to get $10,000 to get production of this, but you already got like $20,000. So this thing has really taken off, and everybody loves this stuff, which is just delightful. I mean, just watching, the images, the back of your head there is just so much fun. So this is art now you could put on your wall and change it through your iPhone. Or answer the phone instead of changing your art. It doesn't matter. Probably somebody wants to order before your project's over. But I mean, you really can, through your iPhone or actually an Android too, right? To change the art that you have on your wall. And it's animated art, that's pickled from these wonderful artists. I mean, it's just a wonderful idea.
Yeah, it's actually just Android right now. iPhone, we're probably going to add that later, as well as a Mac or a PC also works too.
I see. So now, a Mac and PC available now, or just Android now?
All three.
Oh, I see. Oh, so you could run it through your computer or your Android, so any kind of PC or Android, and you get this magic stuff on your wall that you could change every hour, every year, every month, or as much you want. But more importantly, it's wonderful graphics from these artists all over the world, right? Yeah. Well, that's just a delight. Now, you had a similar campaign about a year ago that you got like about $50,000 on that thing, right? And was that your first crowdfunding campaign then?
That was actually my second one.
Oh, really? How was the first one?
The first one wasn't successful.
But you learned, so you got to get back on that horse, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And try again. So you failed the first time. You made 50 grand the second time. So what'd you do different the second time versus the first time?
The second one I think was a better product, and I spent more time trying to get the word out there and market it. So yeah, but to be honest, I think it's still a little bit of luck. I think that a little bit of luck is involved too, whether or not it gets picked up.
But you get better at getting lucky the more you try.
Yeah. And you start to make contacts and build your community, and that takes time.
So you failed once. How much were you after the first time?
The first one was actually a completely different product. It was the idea was to have a breathalyzer that you could use on your smartphone. So that one I think I was after 5,000 or 8,000, something like.
So it's completely different. So people more into art than they are into drunk driving.
Yeah.
Well, that's still a cool idea, though, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something. But on the pixels, so you've been, I saw a shot of your house, on the video on Kickstarter, and you have old-time video games around your house even. So you're really into this artwork.
Yeah.
And your 10-year-old daughter loves playing this stuff?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
They love it.
So you must be an ideal dad. Dad loves to play video games with it. Well, I found when my boy was into video games like 20 years ago or so, that we would play Cubert or something together, and then I'd go to work and he played there all day, and I'd come back and he'd just beat the pants off me because he was practicing so much. So I was just watching. So what do you get when you order the product, and what's the starting price that you get something on the Pixels?
Yeah, so basically you get one of these guys here.
Uh-huh.
Probably see a little screen flicker due to the camera, so
Yes.
you won't see that in real life. But you get one of these guys. You can hang it on the wall or set it on your desk. All of the art that I work with, over 150 works of pixel art, that's all included.
So you get 150 pieces of art?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
from 10 artists, so I wanted to, I didn't want to just do a piece of
Yeah.
hardware. I wanted to
Right.
do a piece of art. So
Right.
art needs art. So that was for me was a big part of the project. So that's all included. And
Uh-huh.
then of course you can do your own art.
Ah, so there's a way, a little app on your phone or on your PC that you could make your own art to put up there.
Correct.
Oh, wonderful. So you could be a famous pixel artist like all these guys you have.
Yeah, it's hard, let me tell you.
That'd be great to play
Basically
with. Yeah.
it's a 32 by 32 screen. So there's
Uh-huh.
1,000 LEDs, 32 by 32
Wow.
resolution. And doing something that looks compelling is some old
Right.
arcade sprites here in that low resolution really is
I
an
agree.
art
It
form.
takes
It's a
some work.
challenge.
But
So
it seemed like it'd be a fun toy to try to figure it out. I mean, you sit there for hours playing Cubert or, all these games. You could figure out how to, use these 1,000 pixels to make some kind of cool piece of art that's yours and only yours. And then it could be flashing on the wall when everybody comes to dinner, right? Or your kids. I mean, they would love this, right? They would probably take to it more than an adult would.
I found kids really like it. I'm not
Yeah.
sure why, because I didn't really think about kids when I did it.
Right.
Of course, I have two kids myself, but it was more of an adult art thing.
Uh-huh.
And I show it off at these maker fairs, which is a do-it-yourself enthusiast forum, and the kids just go crazy for it, which is a surprise for me.
Well,
But
but
yeah,
it sounds like a family game. Yeah. Besides having a family art piece, but somebody could contribute. Every member of the family. Grandma could come over and you teach her a little bit about pixels and PCs and stuff like that, and they're making art on the wall. Well, that's terrific. Now, you really are an IT professional for a big firm out there in California, right?
So this
yes.
is something aside.
Now, what is the people you're working with in China that manufacture this? What are their name again?
Yeah, so being a full-time IT guy, I don't have
Uh-huh.
time to make these guys myself. So I work with a company called Seed Studio, and
SEED, like there's a
two
couple of.
E's,
I do.
Seed with two E's Studio, seedstudio.com. And they basically specialize in working with small guys like me
Wow.
that have an idea that want to do a product out there. And they actually did some of the engineering for me. They do all of the manufacturing, all of the shipping.
Wow.
So it's been a really nice arrangement.
So they're a company. I mean, and I guess in China they're not going to charge you tens of thousands of dollars to do something, right? At least to help you with a prototype. That's a place you could go if you're looking to do something on Kickstarter, one of these other crowdfundings, and need a prototype and engineering help. A company like that in China is someone that is very reasonable to help you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean you're gonna pay more because I'm not making 10,000 of these
Right,
guys.
right,
It's a
right.
small run, so obviously there's going to be some markup there, but it lowers the barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Well, it's even to help you with a prototype. Are they available to do that too? Yeah. See, that would be the thing. That then maybe you're going to make 10,000 of them, and so it doesn't matter. But they help with the prototype, and somebody knows all that. That a lot of people may not know the details. Yeah. So yours is called Pixel LED Art, right? And it's on Kickstarter, so people go to Kickstarter now and be the first on their block to get their own pixel art on their wall that they can make themselves and everything. And that's for about 3 more weeks, and you'll all be there. And once that's over, then you're going to be in an art gallery, right?
Yes, yes.
Right?
Wow! So when is that going to happen?
Yeah, so sometime post Kickstarter,
Uh-huh.
probably a month or so after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. That was one of my personal goals for this project.
Wow.
So now you're a hoi polloi artist too in an art gallery and eat cheese and sip wine and talk about the meaning of your pixel art. Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, it's great fun stuff to have, and anything colorful and exciting and fun is great to be in your life, and it's great to have you there to put more of that in our life. So I thank you for being there, Al, and thanks for doing the project and helping others find out, how to do things in life and make things happen for themselves. So thank you again. So, but your website is Pixel LED. Help me. LEDpixelart.com, right? LEDpixelart.com. And you can find Al there and all his goofy pixel arts. Thank you, Al.
Thanks for having me.